Next would be executive presence. So I'm going to move to our next topic. Sorry, we may need to cut off our session short because there's going to be a meeting that I am invited at 6, 40 minutes from now. Siguro last topic na lang siya.
Okay.
And then the next one, we can do this tomorrow na lang siguro.
Sige.
Close this one out. Ay. So if you notice, the topics that we are doing, or that we're discussing, is not pertaining about your skills as an SME yet. No? We want to make sure that you see yourself as being a leader. This should separate you as an agent. Now you're in SME position now. You have to act as an SME at the same time.
Yes.
Okay? Which one does like show? Alright, let me refresh it. Okay, so let's talk about executive presence. So for our objectives, we need to identify what executive presence is. We also need to learn the importance of executive presence as a leader. We also need to make sure that we can break down the 3 main attributes of being in an executive presence. We also need to determine what are the factors affecting executive presence and to learn how to embody executive presence in ourselves and in our careers man at the same time, inside the office.
Okay.
So, I will be showing you 2 sets of people. Pretend that these 2 are your what we call potential managers. I just want you to know what can you say between these 2 photos. Let's first focus on this photo, photo 1. Don't need to name names, I don't need to know if that's OM this or OM that. You can just tell them what's your observation towards this manager.
Manager is mad.
Mad. Okay. What do you think he's mad about?
Just shouting.
What do you think he is mad about?
Positive scores.
Scores because of the board paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
And maybe violations.
Call outs.
Okay.
Okay, I would accept that. All right, let's move to the next picture. What if this is your manager? What can you say about this manager?
Chill.
Chill, okay. Is it Luchil or Somchil?
No, it's just CHIL.
Oh, chill. So there's no pressure.
No pressure.
Okay. And if you will be given a chance to choose between these 2 managers, who would you choose?
And the one with the shouting.
The one that is shouting? Why is that?
He looks like a manager. And of course, manager would not go ahead and get mad if ever there's nothing wrong.
Okay.
So maybe that there is something you need to correct or need to improve
Okay.
right away. That's why that's the action in the picture.
So if these 2 managers will come in the classroom, first manager, the one that is shouting, will come through here. The second manager, which is laughing, will come through there. Which do you think you will be more scared, show some respect, and honor? Which type of managers?
The one that comes in that door.
In that door. And that feeling and that presence itself, just by looking at the picture,
Yeah.
is what we call executive presence.
Okay.
So you need to make sure you have that executive presence so that everyone will respect you. Imagine yourself giving instructions to the agent and they don't believe you that it's the correct process. How would you feel as an SME?
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
Yeah.
Because they may be seeing you as someone who's chill,
Just
right?
chill.
Just to relate on our picture. But if they see you someone as a really strict manager, who's really trustworthy manager, it comes with being strict, then they would follow you as being the support that they have.
Yeah.
You get my point?
Yes.
So that's how executive presence is. No? So to move on, what is executive presence? Executive presence, this is a, read it for me please, Mark.
A combination of qualities that create impression of confidence, credibility, and confidence.
Ay, sorry. Okay, continue.
The 3 pillars that contribute to executive presence are gravitas, communication, and appearance.
Appearance. So in order for you to show executive presence, these three attributes should be present. Gravitas, communication, and at the same time, appearance. So we'll be talking about these three pillars on our next slides. Okay. Gravitas. No? So when we say gravitas, this is where we think that do people take you seriously? No? Gravitas is a sum of the weight of your personality and the confidence that you exude in any demeanor. No? So they will need to see you as something that they can really trust. Next, we have the communication. So in communication is something that you would think of yourself. Are you able to deliver your message effectively? Especially if you're an SME, you will need to relay some information to someone and you need to make sure that you relay the information effectively. Communication is the next essential ingredient in executive presence. It's not just what you say, but it's how you say it. Okay? And the third pillar for executive presence is your appearance. So does your appearance affect how people view you? Appearance is the final piece of the puzzle, projecting a professional image that aligns with your organization's value is the key. Okay? So these three should be our executive presence pillars where we need to incorporate on our actions, on our message, and how we also act as well. No? Now, since we are talking about these three pillars, we will proceed to our first pillar, which is gravitas. No? So in gravitas, I want you to read this for me, please, Mark.
Gravitas is defined by a person's demeanor, tone of voice, and posture. Individuals with gravitas exhibit confidence, poise, and sense of authority, even in challenging situations.
Okay.
Gravitas is all about how you carry yourself. Leaders with gravitas has commanding presence, and their tone of voice and posture reflect this.
Okay. So gravitas again is how you really portray yourself. If it's something that you're really confident of your skills, if it's something that you are really projecting the tone or the right tone of voice to someone, so it's all about how you present yourself. Okay. Right. So since gravitas is all about what we call confidence, we will talk about what is confidence. Can you read it for me, please, Chris?
Confidence is the feeling of trust in something. When you're talking about self-confidence, is the belief that you can trust in yourself and your abilities of knowledge.
Okay. So how can we get ourselves confident whenever we are talking or presenting ourselves? These are some of the things that we need to work on. First is connect with yourself. No? You cannot be confident if you don't know what you're doing. No? If you don't know how to play basketball, how will you play basketball correctly? No? Same with football and same with other activities or sports. Next is start small. So if you have lots of things that you need to work on within yourself, you cannot work all of it all at the same time. You have to start small and work until you have complete yourself. Okay? Next is work on improving yourself. No? So always make sure that you're not only here just to take in soup calls, just to answer their questions, but you are also here with a bigger purpose. No? And soon, in the future, you will find out. At the same time, you are here for a reason. Always have that in you. If you don't have any reason to stay in a specific area or location, you will just gonna get burnt out and you will just not gonna perform to the best of your ability. So always know what's your purpose, why you're here. And last but not the least is work on a growth mindset. Are you familiar with growth mindset?
Not.
Not? Okay. So do you play sports?
Swimming.
Swimming, okay. So if you're a swimmer and then suddenly somebody asks you to swim, I believe you're swimming in a swimming pool, right? Somebody asks you to swim in a beach. Do you think you can swim in a beach same like swimming in a swimming pool?
The current is not the same, but yes.
You can,
Yeah.
right? Now, what if they will remove you and have you play tennis? You're a swimmer, but you are asked to play tennis.
It would not work.
It will not work. No? So we have two types of mindset. One mindset is what we call the fixed mindset, and the other one is the growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, this is how people think for a fixed mindset. So we have here the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So in a growth mindset, failure is an opportunity to grow. But in a fixed mindset, failure is the limit of my abilities. It will end immediately. Next, what is this? Challenges help me to grow. But in a fixed mindset, I'm either good at it or I'm not. Okay? So, in a nutshell, growth mindset is something that you can still do whatever you wish to achieve so long that you have the belief you can do it, you practice, and then you will soon reach your goal closer than where you were before. Compared to in a fixed mindset that if I'm a swimmer, I cannot do any other sports anymore.
Okay.
Right? So we always need to make sure that we have that growth mindset. Have you been in SME before?
No, this is the first time.
First time. So why did you apply for an SME? Because you believe you can do it?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Okay. So that's an example of a growth mindset. Okay? So let's proceed. Growth mindset, you start by seeking for feedback. It's the most important one. Get out of your comfort zone. So now you're an SME, not an agent anymore. And surround yourself with people that inspires you. Okay? These are sample feedbacks which you can get it from either your manager, your directors, your clients, your teammates, your co-SMEs, your trainers, your QAs. Those are people that you can seek feedback from. Okay? So when we say about feedback, we have 4 different types of feedback. Ask feedback often. So always seek feedback from others. Then, ask targeted or open-ended question to get insightful feedback. Same with my example earlier. When somebody asks you that you're really to being cocky, you ask them, what makes you say that I'm cocky? So that you would understand how they're thinking.
Okay.
And then you have the identify those truth tellers. We Filipinos have that attitude that we tend to joke around a lot.
Yeah.
So we need to identify who to trust and who not to trust at the same time.
Okay.
And if you feel that their feedback is something that is different, you can then reflect, you plan, and execute the change based on others' feedback.
Okay.
Okay, so matamantan lang siya. This is you, and this are the people that you can seek feedback from. Damo sila. Okay. Moving on to our next pillar, this is what we call communication.
Okay.
And communication, effective communication, can be achieved between verbal and non-verbal cues. Read it for me, please.
Oh, no, next.
Sobra.
It encompasses both verbal and non-verbal communication, include presentations, skills, body language, and eye contact. Effective communication builds trust, credibility, and inspires others.
All right. So, with these 2 types of behaviors, we need to understand how we should deliver it correctly. First is we'll talk about how to improve your verbal communication. There. Can you read it for me, please?
Start by being clear and concise when speaking. Avoid filler words such as like. Try organize your thoughts before speaking. Make sure to speak at an appropriate volume and pace, and pay attention to your tone voice.
Okay. So you may be talking to a lot of different types of agents.
Yeah.
Some of those agents would not understand you, and sometimes we have to adjust to whom we're talking to at the same time. So our goal here is to make sure that our message or our communication is clear and concise. We have to avoid filler words such as like, alright, and other fillers pa. No? And try to organize your thought before you start speaking. Next is, make sure that you speak at an appropriate volume or pace. Sometimes too fast is hard to understand from others, but sometimes being fast is really effective or efficient. And pay attention to those tone of voice at the same time. So you need to identify these components in order for you to deliver the right verbal communication to others. Okay? Next is non-verbal communication. So in a non-verbal communication, I need you to read it for me, please.
Improving your non-verbal communication. One important aspect of nonverbal communication is body language. Be aware of your posture, facial expression, and these convey your confidence and openness. Make an eye contact with the person you are speaking with. Be mindful of your gesture.
Okay. So imagine nonverbal is something that you are expressing based on your actions. How would you feel if the person if the SME that you're asking help would look like this? Would you still be open to help that person?
Yeah.
Right? Or how would you feel if you're an SME and you're helping someone who's acting this way?
I think it's not in the mood.
He's not in a mood. So we also won't be in that mood to help that specific person.
Yes.
Right? So verbal and non-verbal communication are really important in order for you to maintain that executive presence in you.
Okay.
Right? Next is appearance. How can we improve our appearance? So now we are on the last pillars for executive presence. Can you read it for me, please?
By following these simple steps, you can enhance your appearance by boost your confidence. Remember, true beauty comes from within. So always be kind to yourself and others.
Okay. So first is dress to impress. Choose the right clothing that fits well, complements your skin tone, and suits the occasion.
Alright.
Next is practice good hygiene. Keep yourself smelling fresh by brushing your teeth twice a day, flossing once a day, and showering regularly. We don't want to smell while helping agents. Next, get enough sleep. A good, in our case, morning's rest can help feel more energized and reduce under-eye circles and puffiness. Aim for 7 to 2 hours of sleep each night. And last but not the least is manage your perception. What people observe or assess as your ability and your effectiveness as leader becomes their reality of you. Okay? These are sample dress to impress for men and women. These are also sample hygiene for men and women. Okay? And since we're talking about enough sleep earlier, we will now need to understand why getting enough sleep is very important. Can you read the benefits, please?
Get enough sleep. Get sick less often. Stay at a healthy weight. Lower your risk for serious health problems like diabetes and heart disease. Reduce stress and improve your mood. Think more clearly and do better in school and at work. Get along better with people, make good decisions, and avoid injuries. For example, drowsy driver cause thousands of car accidents every year.
Okay. So I always believe that it reduces stress and improves your mood, which is something that our agents are getting from us, man. If you're really in a good mood then they're being motivated at the same time.
Of course.
You can also think clearly and do better at work, right?
Yeah.
And you can get along with others, which is very important as an SME. Okay? So, last quote before we end this session. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and only 5 minutes just to ruin it. So always make sure every action, every message that you're trying to deliver is something that you have thought multiple times because it can really ruin your reputation. Okay? Are all about your own self-development as being a leader, being matured even more, right?
Yes.
And we are expecting you to perform this way whenever you're in production.
Got it.
Okay? All right. Any questions with executive presence?
None. Understandable.
Okay, all right. So, I do apologize, but I really need to cut this short because I will be running into another meeting by 6. I'll just reach out to Jessa that we will continue our onboarding tomorrow.
Okay.
Because you will not be able to take in sub calls unless this is completed.
Okay.
It's the third one. Right? Any questions before I let you go?
No one's.
Alright. So you can take your break na lang siguro if you want and then go back to Cluster Jessa. I'll reach out to Jessa na lang that we cut short.
Later pa ang break naman was kay 8:30 pa na.
Sige, later ka naman break. Sige. Thank you again for your time. Mark, I'll see you tomorrow na lang for our next session.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Yes. Bachin, please.
Ang best gali hamba kay S ni Jenny ni.
Din
Kasi
ano.
on my spare desk yung ano.
Ako wala, but your OM should, Jessa should be reaching
Ah,
out
okay.
to SD.
Sige.
Kasi SD na patag.
I-ano lang si...
Oo.
Thank you.